It's time for the Privateers, and this is how they line up. Richard Mork and Charles Ryman, they share the front row. Row 2 is John Briggs and Thomas Mazera.
Out of row 3, Kevin Heffernan and Paul Wheel in the Falcon. Ryan McLeod and Greg Crick fill out row 4.
Keep in mind, they draw for these positions. Rod Nash, the newcomer, is out of 9 alongside the Castrol Cougars entry of Karen Brewer. Mick Donoher from 11 and Danny Osborne out of 12.
And right off the back, car 13, Trevor Ashby in the Lansvale Smash Repairs Commodore.
Getting set for the start of the Privateers, looking good. Richard Mork looking for a good start from the outside. Red lights on green. We are away. It is double the action, this time 8 laps. And it's Mork who gets away to a great start. Briggs on the inside. Mazera and Kevin Heffernan comes through as well. And somebody on the grass has Mick Donoher. Got away to a sort of an awkward start, but it's Richard Mork who leads them through the first time.
Yeah, Donoher's having a pretty rough weekend. He went off in practice, damaged the car badly. He's lucky to be back in the competition today. Look at Mork. Gets the wheels out on the rebel strips. So too John Briggs. Boy, it's wild stuff here at the front. Mork now gets wrapped up by Thomas Mazera in the Denseltron Commodore. And he's got the price attack Commodore of Kevin Heffernan breathing right down his neck as they drop down at a hungry turn for the first time.
The local driver Kevin Heffernan in the price attack Commodore charging hard in second spot. The ex-Smurden car out in front with Thomas Mazera behind the wheel, and Heffernan's through on the inside in the eastern loop. Wow, the Brisbane driver really forcing the issue. So Heffernan hits the lead before the end of the first lap.
A real attack from the price attack Commodore. He goes through to the lead. Thomas Mazera back to second position. Then we've got Greg Crick in the Trust Bank car. He's up to third position. A real battle now going on between Mork and Briggs. Briggs sneaks through in the Falcon before they hit the sweeper for the first time.
Now we don't seem to have Paul Wheel out there in the Trade Link Falcon. That was the car who seems to be missing. But have a look at Greg Crick, the Tasmanian driver, leading the way. He was top privateer. Big smash. That was John Briggs. He's gone. We get back to talking about Greg Crick in the Trust Bank Ericsson Commodore. Top privateer from Symmons Plains, and he's come right up into third. Is looking at Thomas Mazera for second.
It's a pretty historic moment in Shell Series history. This is the first time we've had the privateers running a control tyre. All these cars competing on a Yokohama control tyre is designed to keep costs down and let all the cars compete on a level playing field. And certainly seeing by this first race, the formula seems to be working. They're all over each other. Greg Crick now on the attack behind Mazera. Mazera gets a wheel out in the grass there. Pretty desperate stuff as he tries to hold out this Commodore as they come onto the main straight.
Well, Greg Crick is all over the back of him. Now keep in mind, it's double the distance. As I said earlier, 8 laps for the privateers, and there's plenty of smiling faces about that. They're pretty happy to have the extended lappage here at Lakeside. Thomas Mazera holding strong in second. It is Kevin Heffernan who's doing the business out in front, and Greg Crick doing the charging in third.
Yeah, Greg wasn't too happy with the setup on the car before. Keep in mind, because they switched to this Yokohama control tyre, a lot of guys are having to change their suspension setups to adapt to this new tyre. Some of them are having trouble getting around it, but I'm sure as this championship progresses, these cars will be perfectly tuned for this rubber. Let's have a look on the Shell Helix replay. It was John Briggs in the Super Cheap Autos Falcon. He just snuck through on the inside and walked through the sweeper that time, and maybe he's got a little bit out of shape under brakes off into the gravel.
Hard luck for John Briggs because he was running fourth when that happened. Ryan McLeod is now up into fourth ahead of Osborne, Ashby, Karen Brewer, Mork, Ryman, Donoher, Nash, and of course Briggs has retired. So this is the battle 1, 2 and 3. It is all Kevin Heffernan still, lap 4 of 8. Into the carousel there, Greg Crick looking up the inside, really trying hard to get past Thomas Mazera, but just can't do it. Now, Greg Crick seemed to drop off there a little bit. He did, Mark. So not quite sure what happened. Here's a replay. Rod Nash, the newcomer, off, coming onto the main straight. Does he keep it off the Armco? Oh, good driving. He's really kept the boot into that and avoids coming in contact with the Armco.
It's a great drive from Kevin Heffernan, the privateer. He's competed in most rounds of the Shell Series over the years, only on a limited budget, but really coming alive in the Privateers Cup this year. First time on this Yokohama control tyre, and it's a great battle for the lead. Look at that wheel right up in the air. Heffernan is trying hard, feeling plenty of heat from Thomas Mazera and Greg Crick in the Ericsson Commodore.
Out of Hungary they come. Greg Crick getting a little sideways. Now keep in mind, we don't talk tyres here with this, I guess you could say, anymore, because they're all on the same, as Mark Osler said earlier. Controlled Yokohama tyre, so it's a level playing field in the privateer category now. This is great driving by Kevin Heffernan. 2 more laps to go in the privateer race. Crick pulls out of the slipstream again on the outside of Thomas Mazira in the Denistron entry, but can't get there.
Well, they really are charging away, this leading trio. 5.2 seconds the gap back to Danny Osborne in 4th position. And there's Trevor Ashby in the Lansvale Smash Repairs car. This is the battle for 4th and 5th. Trevor was fastest here on Friday, but a nasty shunt at the carousel. Did a lot of damage to the car, broken diff housing, broke the suspension, the exhaust, spent a lot of panels. And the Lansvale Smash Repairs team being who they are.
Well, he was apparently he was knocked out, Mark, unconscious for about 4 minutes.
Oh, it was a big crash. I just saw Greg Crick, I think it was, in trouble there coming under the bridge. Indeed, he's dropped right off this lead battle, so a problem for Greg Crick toward the end of this race. But Thomas Mazira is still in the battle. There's Crick, the Ericsson car.
He's heading back to the pits, so his race is over. Hard luck for Greg Crick in the Ericsson Commodore. 1 more lap remaining in the privateers race. Who will it be? Kevin Heffernan in the Price Attack Commodore or Thomas Mazira? It's a 2-car race from here on in. Now, Thomas has been unable to make any ground on Kevin Heffernan, but he comes right up on him now in the carousel.
Forget about the battle for 3rd. They're way back. 5.2 seconds the gap. Well, now it's out to 10 seconds. So it's these two running away at the front. Thomas Mazira looking for a way past Kevin Heffernan, but he's running out of options. Half a lap remaining around Lakeside. And it's really going to take Heffernan to make a big mistake here.
He has been right on his game, Kevin Heffernan. He's been driving very well. Thomas comes up under brakes. We should give a rap to Karen Brewer, the Castrol Cougars entry. She's up into 5th place at the moment, going very well. And we've got a couple of corners left to negotiate, then the checkered flag. That looks like it's going to be for the Price Attack Commodore of Kevin Heffernan. Here they come. Into the main straight. Thomas Mazira has forced the issue all race long, but Kevin Heffernan will get there. He wins the first 8-lapper privateers race at Lakeside in front of his home crowd from Thomas Mazira. It's a tight one for 3rd, but another Queenslander, Danny Osborne, will get there in the colour scan Falcon. Time to check the final placings on your Shell Helix race score, and it will be a very, very delighted Kevin Heffernan. Good on him. That's his first win ever ahead of Thomas Mazira. Danny Osborne in for 3rd ahead of Trevor Ashby, recovering from that crash. And Karen Brewer in for 5th. That's a great effort for Karen. Back to 6th, it was Mick Donoher ahead of Richard Moore. Charles Ryman in 8th ahead of Rod Nash, who we saw spin out. And Ryan McLeod rounding out the top 10.
Well, we're here with the Privateers Cup winner, Kevin Heffernan. When you got out of the car, you said, I've been waiting 20 years for this. It must be a great moment for you.
It really was. Look, I tell you what, I now know what Dick Johnson feels like to win a touring car round, because that is just exactly like it. And it was, Dad and I have been waiting 20 years to win something like that. And I don't care if it's 8 laps or 28 laps. It was brilliant.
Fantastic battle there with Thomas Mazira. The control tyre formula working pretty well for the Privateers?
It's starting to work not too bad now. For a start, we had some problems, but I suppose we first had to blame tyres, and then we sorted our cars out, and they're really starting to come all right.
Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you very much.